I wrote this book because for several years now, since really about the mid-2000s, I've been concerned about the rising cost of legal education. I began a series of posts in 2006 and have written several dozen since that time, precisely about the economics of law school. And I wrote it because I saw students, a few, coming out with very large debt. I mean, when we talk about average numbers, the average could be 150,000, but that means some of them have 200,000, some have 50,000, so the average. And I began seeing students coming out with very large debt and getting jobs that didn't seem to pay enough. But I never really paid a great deal of attention to it. In the last 2 years, with the contraction of the legal market, in 2008, the legal market, jobs for lawyers, suffered a significant contraction. And when that happened, it exposed a lot of things that were getting papered over. And in particular, it exposed the really poor job results that about a third of law students nationwide were experiencing. And by that, I mean not getting jobs at all. And then so about a third weren't getting jobs at all. But in addition, many of those who got legal jobs were not able to pay their debts. The book has many different audiences, and I set it up in the beginning that way. But my main objective, I'll say I have an immediate audience and then a broader audience. So the immediate audience, my immediate audience will be legal educators. I'd like to communicate to all the rest of us about the situation that we've created in the hope that this will prompt some self-examination and some internal change. Having said that, I also have a much broader audience in mind. I hope to reach policymakers. One of a major factor that affects the economics of law school is the federal loan program. And the federal loan program has to be changed. So one of my goals is to reach the Department of Education, to reach senators who pass the Higher Education Act and are looking at the possibility of changes in the Higher Education Act. In addition, I'm trying to reach parents and prospective students and suggest to them that if they're thinking about law school, it can still be a wise decision, but it has to be one made with knowledge and carefully. So several parts of the book are aimed at prospective students and current students as well. Debt is so high because tuition's gone up every year for at least the last 30 years, and I mean every year. And tuition's gone up far above the rate of inflation. Meanwhile, the economic return, jobs, payment, annual salaries for lawyers, for the bulk of graduates has not gone up apace with tuition. And the reason for it is because we have had a fairly constant oversupply of lawyers. So the bottom half of the legal market, say about 50% of the jobs, it's a bit more than that, pay at that level stagnated, even as tuition's gone up. So this is what's created the fundamental mismatch. And this has been going on now for 3 decades. Legal education, in my view, is in a terrible state, and we need to start looking at it very seriously in a self-critical way. And I don't think that legal educators have been doing that up until now. And my hope is that the book will prompt some conversation about it and then ultimately go beyond talking and reform the economics of how we run law schools.